Hello again, this is Knitting Amazon, and today I want to talk about swatching for Thea Colman's Nor'easter sweater. So week before last, I was digging out some leftover Dream in Color Classy in the Cool Fire colorway for somebody on Ravelry that needed some, and I happen to have some from a project from 2012. Yes, I don't throw away yarn unless it's little bitty scraps. And while I was digging in my stash, it happened to be stored in the same box as this beautiful colorway here. This is Dusky Aurora in Dream in Color Classic. And I decided that that yarn just needed to be made into a sweater. And so I went online and I found Thea Colman's Nor'easter, which was a pattern that I had remembered eyeing when it came out. I needed a swatch, but I had just knit the October vest in the exact same yarn base in the October 2014 Dream in Color colorway. I knew from the vest that the US 7 needles, which is actually what the pattern called for, was not going to work for me. The gauge would be too loose. So I knit a swatch first on size 5s and then on size 6s. And the way I chose those needle sizes, here's all that's left here, is using this cool little needle gauge that Simply Knitting sent me as part of the magazine subscription. And it has slots instead of holes. Now I have a theory about matching yarn to needles. Because of the way you form a stitch, you're essentially pulling a doubled loop, a loop which is, two lengths of that fabric, two strands, right, through another loop. So your loop on your needle has to be big enough to accommodate the two strands you're pulling in, the loop that you're pulling in. So that means the loop on the needle has to at least be wide enough, the diameter of that needle has to be big enough to accommodate two strands coming through. Well, the diameter of the needle is basically given to you by the width of these slots. So if you take two strands and not really stretching them, but just sort of laying them between, into that slot, you can see a 5 compresses slightly, 4 compresses a lot, 6 barely compresses, 7 really doesn't. I mean, there's a little bit, but that's really just because I don't have the two strands like exactly next to each other, but you can see when you pull that in there, they're essentially laying together flat, whereas here there's a little overlap. Here you've actually got some loosey-goosey stuff going on, and that's going to be too loose unless you are a super tight knitter. But I knew that a 7 was actually going to be a little bit loose. You probably actually want a needle a little bit smaller because you have a lot of other play going on when you are knitting a stitch. So let me show you that with, this is actually the sleeve for the Nor'easter, and you can see just because of the way you form stitches, even working on circulars, you've got a little bit of room, when you're forming that stitch, you're stretching things out a little bit, and you've got the bar between the stitches that gives you extra room, and so, so that's why you can actually pull your stitches apart a little bit, is because you have that bar which is giving you just a little extra margin when you're making your stitches, so you're not making fabric that's, like hard as a board. So this is being knit on size 6, and I think it's going to actually work really well. If you look at the two swatches on the 5s, it's a nice fabric. It's, not stiff. It's got a nice body to it. The 6 is a little drapier than the 5, but there's going to be a lot of cabling on the back, which is going to pull things in more, so you do need a little bigger needle. But both of these were really nice fabric. I think if I knit it on the 4, it would probably come out, starting to get a little too stiff to work with. But that's how I figure out what size needle I want to use with my yarn.